Sitting across from me here, I have none other than Russell Bierke. Russell, throughout his teenage and young adult years, has been pushing the limits in the league of big wave surfers. From travelling the world surfing and filming to create breathtaking surf films, to competing in the notorious Eddie Aikau Big Wave Surf Invitational late last year, Russ has gained global recognition through his skill and confidence when manhandling giant walls of water around the globe. So without further ado, here is the man himself, Russ.
Nice intro.
How are you, mate?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, nice and professional.
Yeah, see that? Look, here we go. We're working on something. All right. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
Good to have you on here, mate.
Good to be here.
Yeah, so how do you reckon I went with the intro there?
Yeah, pretty good. Kept it pretty civil.
Yeah, do you reckon? Yeah. I could have gone a little bit more rogue there, but I thought we'll keep it civil. Let's keep it tame. So, yeah, I mean, you've had a pretty big year, or pretty big, I mean, lifetime really, surfing and stuff. So, I was just going to ask you a few questions and just let everyone get to know you a bit better. So I guess start us off. Tell us about early days, where you were born, where you grew up. Just a basic little intro for yourself.
Yeah, early days. I mean, my dad's from the States, mum's Aussie. And yeah, dad was living in Hawaii for like 20 years where he met my mum.
Yeah.
And I was born there, lived like at Rocky Point on the North Shore till I was 5. And then, yeah, moved to Cabarita on the North Coast for like 2 years and then came down here when I was 7. And yeah.
And that's when we met.
Yeah, pretty much. I reckon you were one of the first people I met down here.
I would have been, right?
Yeah, I think... I mean, I can barely remember, but Dad reckons we were both surfing Rennies on a little day. She was pushing you in and I was getting pushed in and we were like...
So good. So that was 7. See, in my head I thought it was 8, but yeah, okay. So yeah, and you've been, I guess, living in Ulladulla ever since, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
it's been home base, really.
You haven't done any time, like, living out of Ulladulla? I mean, obviously going on trips and staying, but it's always been here, right?
Yeah, mainly. I mean, done like months at a time, but not...
Yeah, but nothing like permanent. Yeah, sweet. So, you were just talking about your dad. So your dad, Kirk Bierke, he is not Hawaiian. He lived in Hawaii, or is he Hawaiian?
Yeah, he's actually, he was born in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, what's that, like inland states?
Great Lakes, the states, like inland. But yeah, his family moved to like Redondo Beach in LA. Yep. Which is where he grew up, and then grew up like he was kind of surfing around Santa Barbara zone quite a bit, and like up and down the coast of Northern Cali. Yep. And then was doing big stints in Porto, and basically, I mean, from what he's told me, he was going to Porto, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should go check out Hawaii. Like, it's pretty nuts." And he was just like, "Yeah, whatever." And then finally, was like, "Oh, I'll go do it." And then basically, I think went on a trip to check it out and didn't leave. So it's like nearly almost 20 years living there and shaping and stuff. So
yeah, wow. And so he was shaping there the whole time he was there. Is he always been a shaper? Has that always been his career?
Yeah, I think like a lot of the waves like around Santa Barbara and stuff are like pretty rocky. Mm-hmm. And it was before you like no one was using leashes. So he's just getting his boards beat up and just kind of learn how to fix them and make new boards and whatever else, just because it was like the cheapest way to do it. Yep. And then basically started working in factories and stuff and shaping his own stuff. Yeah. And
then was like, oh well, if I'm putting my hands on them this much, I might as well make them myself.
Yeah. But he was pretty young when he was doing that. Like, in his teens.
Do you know how old? Teens. Yeah. Oh right. Okay. So how old was he, do you reckon, when he moved to Hawaii?
Early 20s, a bit of math here. Yeah, early to mid 20s, I think. Cause he had a few years like surfing Cali and Porto before that. But.
And so you ride his boards, like your equipment. Your dad's shaping all your boards, right? All of them.
All my boards.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool to be able to ride your dad's legacy and be kind of achieving what you have throughout your career so far.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
obviously
good.
Continuing and going up. So I'm sure he's pretty stoked about that. It'd be good advertising for him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, pretty good feedback loop. Look, it's pretty easy. Like.
Yeah, so Dad, this board does this and that, and I took off on a 50-footer and it skipped out. So how about we try this? So pretty much the perfect like test dummy, eh?
Yeah. The rest of my family's probably pretty over it. Like if we're having a dinner or something, it just goes to board talk for like 20 minutes if you kick us off.
That's what's going on around the table, eh?
I mean, yeah.
Fucking
not all the time, but
yeah. So Kirky is still. He's just been a bit injured at the moment, but he is a big wave surfer himself. So do you think that had a pretty big impact on you growing up, and also growing up those first early years in Hawaii? Do you reckon that had a pretty big influence on what you do now as a big wave surfer?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, yeah, growing up, it was always like Dad was chasing solid waves, and he was putting so much energy into that, and I was kind of just, wanted to kind of do what he did.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, just remembering like kind of begging him to like take us along surfing, and he was always going to like these big deep water waves, and he'd be like, "No, not today," or like,
"Not today, too big."
Or like it'd be like a kind of mellow day somewhere. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, come out and give it a crack," and kind of just spiraled from there.
For sure. I mean, I personally have a couple memories of when I would have been 14 or so you would have been 12, maybe even younger, surfing like real big waves around here.
Yeah,
and just going with Kirky, and I was older, and I was like, oh man, like I'm freaking, and you and Kirky are just like straight off the rocks. I'm like, man, this little pipsqueak's like half my size, and he's bouncing off the reef like it's nothing. I'm like,
yeah, I do remember a few of those.
I better fire up. I'll look like a pussy if I don't go and at least throw my hat in the ring. But no, I guess you guys, and it would have been kind of scary for him as well, just sending his boy and dragging his boy. But I guess he could see the desire for big wave surfing, how much he wanted it. So
for sure, I think that's part of the reason he was like, I started having orange boards. Like he painted them orange so he could see.
So he could see,
like tombstone on the inside.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes again. Come on, pop up.
Yeah.
He's still here. Yeah, because it would have been he would have had some anxious moments.
Yeah.
Especially even now, still just being like, "Don't die, boy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been there too. He's like, he knows what it's like.
He knows what to do. Eh? So, what do you reckon's the most scared you've ever been in the ocean?
Geez, I don't know. I had a few, but definitely like a few moments where you're just like, I'm fucked here. Like, yeah, for sure. But one of them, one of them was like at the cliffs, in Ireland, like at Aileen's, the cliffs of Moa. Yeah, where I think it was the trip before we went, and basically got smoked, snapped my board, and I was like in that bay that you can't get out of. Like the locals have put like I think they put like a first aid box for like if you have to stay the night. Yeah. I mean, I remember pointing it out to you. Yeah, you're like, that's it up there on the hill. Yeah. It's like this big yellow pelican case, and it's got like one of those survival blankets and a bit of food and water if you got to like spend the night, because you're not getting a chopper in there or a boat if it's big and dark.
Or if it's windy too, trying to get a chopper in there would be gnarly, right?
Yeah, you can't. So, I had like, I don't know, about 2 foot of my tail on my board, and I was just like in this bay, like, and it was kind of, it was mid-afternoon, like kind of late afternoon. Yeah. And just like, I don't know, trying to swim my way out of it, and like got out past the shore and was like in the current's going the opposite way to where you need to go. Yeah. You got to go like out and around the whole wave, and then the current's trying to pull you back into the wave, so you got to go extra far into that one little bay to get in at that keyhole. Oh man! And I went from like when I snapped my board, I'm like, fuck, I hope I got enough time to like paddle back out and catch another wave, and then like by the time I got out of the shore, I was just like, I hope I can get in before it's dark.
You'd be feeling the stress of time, and if you get stuck, like you're paddling, is Doolan the closest? Yeah. And what's that? Like how many Ks?
A couple Ks for sure.
Pretty hectic. Yeah. Swimming that in the cold.
Yeah, it was just, I had like the tiniest bit of board and was like hanging onto it, but it was just kind of weighing me down. Like, oh man, like tried every like stroke, like had it under my legs to swim, and then like under my chest, and like just like sinking too much to really get a rhythm on it. But kind of ended up. And by the time I was near the lineup, it was like kind of everyone knew what was going on, and everyone's looking out for each other. But
you reckon you
no skis or anything?
Were you fretting? Were you kind of like?
Oh, there was a moment where I was like, well, I feel pretty small here. Like,
Oh, especially under those cliffs, man. Yeah. They're huge.
Just like, I don't know, had some, like one day at Jaws, I was thinking about when you asked that too, like, I think the day before the Eddie this year was like massive giant windswell, and that was probably like scarier, but at least you know there's like 20 skis in the channel.
Yeah,
that are
fully.
like, if you do eat it, someone's going to see you and come and try to grab you. But that was just like alone at the bottom of the lake.
That joint's so gnarly in the first place, and not having some sort of rescue team there's heavy.
Yeah.
I was freaking when we surfed it. That's the scaredest I've ever been in the surf, for sure. Climbing down that cliff, jumping off those damn slippery boulders, freezing cold. Like, oh man, I was terrified. Yeah, so, there's another one that comes to mind, actually, you've told me about, is that one down at, is called Invico or whatever, or?
Oh,
yeah, and you got cracked on the chin by your board or something, got knocked out. You want to tell us a bit more about that, or?
Yeah, that was pretty, might have to bleep it out. It's pretty localised little wave. I might be in some trouble.
Oh, okay.
Spilling that. But, like, yeah, basically it was, like, a perfect day at, like, I don't know, just, like, a big, nice, like, normal paddle wave sort of thing. Like, it was riding a 9.8 and it was just, like, kind of 15 foot, maybe the odd bigger one, but just pretty, like, as clean and perfect as a wave that size will get.
Yep.
And, we're surfing for ages. Like, I don't know, Slater was out there and like Tommy Carroll and like there was a fair crew of people all having like a mental sesh. And then, I was down there with Whip and Benny Serrano, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll go get one more wave. And I remember like Benny paddling for one and like just tossed himself out of the lip. And like then the next wave came and I was like, oh, this is good enough to go in on. Like there would have been like an 8-10 foot wave, like not huge for what I was surfing that day, and like pretty mellow for that size. And I remember like paddling into it laughing because I just watched Betty like cartwheel out of the lip, like good old Serrano style. And then kind of like got to the end of the wave and there was like a bit of a barrel section, pulled in, it just like clamped me like that. And kind of don't really remember, but I think Hippo was in the channel and reckons like he saw me get like kind of pinched and just reckons I was like rolling around like in the barrel with my board. Yeah, board must have just like got me under the chin and knocked me out, and kind of don't really even remember the wave. Kind of remember like feeling crazy weird and then came to on the beach. Yeah. But it was pretty nuts. It all worked out. That was like what we were saying just before with the jet ski, like having a rescue jet ski there. There was like, I mean, we didn't organise it. We were down there and just went out for a paddle, and thankfully
happened to be there.
Some of the local lads had a ski there.
Yeah.
And then got to the beach, and there was I think the Surf Lifesaving Club right there. They were doing a training day.
Wow.
Like doing like a full training day, and they had then I think the lady there had like an oxygen bottle and like saw what was going on and ran down and just got like oxygen straight away, ambulance like off to the hospital. Like hell. But
wow, that's which is almost like it was meant to be. If you're ever gonna nearly die, that's the time.
Somehow worked out, but
so gnarly. And like, I mean, from stories I've heard, I'm sure they've probably been altered when it gets passed between people, but the story was you were face down, right? Face down in the water, and they pulled you out and you were blue like you were just done.
Yeah, I think from what was Hippo saying, he said it looked like I was still like kind of with it, like I wasn't completely out, but was like out of it for sure. Wow. Like I think it hit me and I kind of like must have blacked out for a sec, and then kind of underwater, like not knowing what was going on, took a breath and took water in, and then it was just like, it just felt like I had like concrete in my lungs pretty much, like trying to breathe, just couldn't, no matter what I did, just couldn't get a full breath. And then finally the oxygen, like put me on oxygen, and kind of like, I think I just spewed up, coughed a bunch out, and then kind of like was breathing all right then.
Yeah, fire out.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy, like almost surreal. Like had like 2 or 3 days in hospital, got a bunch of scans, and they were like, oh, the water's out of your lungs, like you're sweet to go. Like the concussion scan was fine. Yeah. Like felt like a week later, just felt like nothing happened. But
so whack. Is that when you got hurt and then you were out of the water for a bit and then you went and surfed depot, and that was like that clip you brought out was like your first surf back? Is that the one?
Yeah, I think I'd had a few surfs, but that was like the first
proper surf. Yeah, I remember that, and that was all this big chirp. You'd just like been knocked out and nearly died. Kelly,
that was like 3 or 4 weeks
Kelly
later.
Slater revived you. That was the talk. Kelly Slater had come in.
I know that got hammed. I mean, he was there and on the ski. And
it got hammed up,
but it was like there was I'm not discounting what he did, but it was a fair team effort. But
yeah,
of course, that's headlines and
Kelly Slater saves young prodigy.
Yeah,
yeah, that was good, eh?
Yeah.
So, like, how important would you say mindset is going into shit like that? Like when you're walking down the beach and you're looking at just these mountains stacking up and just blowing to smithereens. Like, how important is your headspace and keeping yourself where you got to be when you're doing that?
Yeah, it's kind of everything really. Like if you're not feeling it and you can't get into the zone, like it doesn't matter how cooking it is. Even if it's pumping, you just can't find, like, you can't get a rhythm in your head, or can't psych up, and you're just not feeling it for whatever reason. Yeah. And that's just part of it. Like, you have some surfs where you're feeling it and
just out of sync.
Yeah, even though it's like dodgy and not perfect, you're getting good waves and you're having a good surf. And then other days it's pumping, you're like, why can't I find a good wave? Or like you're just not feeling like confident or whatever. Yeah.
And are you like, before you, say for example, there's a mega swell coming and it's like the night before, are you like semi getting yourself like are you like trying to get yourself in a certain headspace before that happens, or are you just letting the day come as it comes?
Yeah, kind of going through the motions of like sorting out all your stuff, like making sure.
Yeah, like equipment.
I don't know, yeah. Like you see some crew get like super into it and they're like sorting out all their equipment and like meditating and going nuts, like almost like changing their routine a bit, and that gets them into a good headspace.
Yeah, but not...
Which might, yeah, like I definitely like being like well rested and feeling like I'm prepared and ready, but like I feel like if I put too much effort into being ready, it builds it up to something like bigger than it, or like that feels bigger than it should be. Yeah. And then you just kind of like, like it's like you put too much pressure on it or something.
Then it just becomes unnatural. So would you say like a lot of it comes down to, rather than preparation, instinct?
Yeah, instinct and just feeling like relaxed with it, I reckon.
Yeah,
like,
just getting yourself calm and that.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, it's the biggest day ever, I've got to like sort all my stuff out and be really calm and prepared. And I mean, for some crew that works, but a lot of the time I'm like, it's the biggest sesh, like, got to be feeling good and do all this, do all that. You do so much and it kind of like wears you out.
Yeah, you overham it and it just sort of takes its toll on you, especially probably mentally, eh? Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Like, there's a fine line between being like over prepared and under.
Yeah, fucking no.
Like, you don't want to just go into it like it's nothing, then you roll up out there and you're like, it's like 20 foot and nuts and it's just daydreaming.
Yeah, you're a fucking lunatic. You've often been referred to as having balls of steel. And actually, on that topic, what is the diameter of your nutsack?
Jesus. Here we go. That's the other real question.
Well, we're video and we can get the tape out. I mean, I'm kind of thinking like, just like out of imagination, it's got to be something at least this big. Come on. Ham it up, eh? Oh, jeez. All right. Well, who's like your main inspiration or like influences? Like when you're looking to like get pumped up for a sesh, when it comes to big wave surfing, who's your main influence or your main, maybe role model? Role model's not really the word, but influence, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends, hey. Like, it does depend on like where I'm surfing and stuff. I mean, growing up, it was always dad, like, tag along with him, ask him a million questions and whatever else.
He's a guru.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on it. And then, it is kind of wave dependent as well. Like, say if I'm going out Jaws, I'm looking at what Albie or like, Ian Walsh and like that crew are doing, like, and then, so it's kind of like compared.
Depending where you're surfing.
Depending where I surf. Like,
fully.
There's crew at different waves who take cool lines and like watching what they do and learning from that. And
I mean, like, aside from big wave surfing, you're on a pretty high end of just like general surfing smaller waves and doing turns and airs and whatever else. Do you then, big wave surfing, you look to those guys like Albie, etc. And then when it's smaller, like who are you looking to for inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of, I love watching crew do it all. Yeah. Like, Noz is insane. Noah's,
of course.
Yeah, like just doing a trip with Noah like a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's nuts in obviously small waves, doing crazy airs and stuff, but like doing crazy airs on big gnarly shit that you wouldn't even think about, like getting out of the lip on.
Yeah, and I swear that guy's like, built from titanium or something.
Yeah, he's nuts. And then when it is big, he's like kind of acting a bit scared and rattled, and then goes out and just whips it on a nuts one.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's insane to watch, and
yeah, isn't he?
Yeah, just Courage draw cool lines. Like I know John's like,
of course,
obviously one of the best.
Yeah,
I'd say, but
yeah, it's Noz is built like a fucking 4-story apartment building. Eh? He's that solid.
Yeah, he's nuts. Eh? Anyone else gets so hurt.
You could drive over him in the 100 Series Land Cruiser and you just stand back up like nothing.
I reckon. Hey,
such a unit. I actually got a question. A few crew, like when I said I was gonna have a chat to you, they had a question. This is requested from the audience. What is your preferred forecasting platform?
Jeez, all of them.
All of them.
I mean, it used to be Boy Weather, but then I think Surfline bought that and cooked it.
Yeah.
Probably Windy.
Are you using one, or are you bouncing between?
Pretty much bouncing between.
Like doing a scan and just getting a little bit of everything and just figuring out which one.
Pretty
much. So for wind,
like,
you'd say Windy, hey?
Windy, even for swell, like it takes a while to read it, but
yeah,
Windy's good. I mean, Swellnet's been real good, as well. Swellnet, Surfline, Winger, just kind of look at all of them.
Look at them all and just kind of gather everything you can and just go from there.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if they're all saying like different stuff, like a day out, you're like, it's a roll of the dice. You don't know what's happening, but if they're all saying pretty similar, you kind of get a good idea.
You get a good idea. Yeah, fully. So like, I guess traveling and surfing, what's the like reception like coming into these small towns and staying there and surfing and living for a little temporary stint? Like, what's the reception like coming in there to the place essentially and being in that area?
Yeah, I mean,
like, how do the locals take you? Yeah,
it depends on the town for sure.
Yeah,
but like pretty much everywhere I go, you meet like insanely cool people, and always try and be respectful of what they're doing, and not, I don't know, a good thing I've found is not like posting while you're there. Yeah. And like not
posting of the day and stuff.
Yeah, and not posting on the day, not while you're there, because that'll just build so much hype around
bit of
whatever
tension,
you're doing. And also like, I don't know, if you're going to somewhere that's a little bit sensitive and people don't want their waves exposed and whatever else, you just kind of like mix footage in with whatever else. So it's not like unless you actually really know the wave and what it looks like, you're going to pick it, but you already know.
Trying to keep like backdrops and sort of like landscapes out of it and stuff.
Yeah, try and be pretty respectful of that. And also, I don't know, I feel like word of mouth is ruins more waves than actually filming and not showing anything.
For sure.
But yeah, it's so cool going into like just different parts of the world, different towns.
Yep.
Like over in Ireland, made so many good mates.
For sure. And so, where do you reckon you're most like pleasantly received? I guess that's the word.
Yeah. I mean, probably in Ireland. Like I've spent quite a lot of time there, and everyone's super cool. It's almost like a version of here, I reckon. Yeah. Like, I mean, you've been there, and it's like kind of similar characters in town. And, for sure. Everyone's pretty chill. Like,
the
got
Irish,
a bit of banter, and get on really well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even when we were there, I feel like the Irish were just like very welcoming. You know, like surfers from out of their country coming in. Essentially, that's exposure for the area, and instead of being like, "Oh no, don't blow it out," they're just like, "Come and have a pint." Yeah,
but it is because I feel like it is because like we've come with that sort of like, I don't know, I guess that way of doing it where you're not trying to blow the joint up and like fly in, fly out, like without experiencing anything. You're like, you're there for surfing, and also you're there to like experience all of it,
the pubs,
and then crew will fly in, blow the wave up. It'll be on a vlog while they're flying out the next day.
Split,
online, and like, it's like, I don't know, you can, I don't know. It's
so
not,
a big
it's
part
not
of
like
it's
a free
immersive.
for all. Yeah, like if you roll up and think you're gonna like pull cameras out, start filming, snake all the locals, get a bomb, like you're not gonna be that well received there.
No, exactly.
Like, not pushovers, but they're not. They've got a sense of.
They understand,
what's right. And,
well, even when we were there, what did we do? 6 weeks. Yeah. And a good part of that, there wasn't much surf. You just just roll the dice and roll in. You just end up getting barreled in black Guinness liquid.
Yeah, that's the thing with it. You never know. Like you fly for a swell and it's just no good, and then there's another, like not another one for a few weeks, and
Yeah.
Just try and stick it out. And,
yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know, sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't, for sure, hey. And so would you say like you're mostly traveling alone, or you're taking a photographer or other surfers or friends? Like,
yeah, it varies quite a bit. It kind of depends where. I mean, Ireland normally just going with mates.
yeah,
Because it's like crew are pretty. I mean, yeah, some of the first times I went with Morse.
yeah,
Like Sean Mawson and Birch and Kaneda and
yeah. Brady Bircher, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Andrew Kaneda, yeah. So
yeah, and like we all kind of went together, and it's almost been like a town exchange. Even from before I was going, like I think Morgo was one of the first surfers there, like kind of exploring the waves. I think for Riley's for like the first tow session with surfers, Morgo was like there.
So
with Lowy
Paul Morgan,
yeah, Paul Morgan,
and from down the south coast, Paul Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these lads are all like surfers from kind of down the south coast. A couple of them a little older than us. Sean Mawson, good friend of ours. But so Morgs went over like years and years ago and found some of the spots. Is that right?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
like,
I don't think he found them, but he was in the first like
the early
it was like
crew.
Mickey Smith and like Tom Lowe and Fergal Smith were.
And they're all Irish boys, right?
No, Mickey and Lowy are Cornish, and then Fergal's Irish.
Yep.
And there was definitely like a boog scene as
they
well.
probably pioneered it essentially,
That was
right?
like and Mickey was in that boog scene too. But like,
is he a bodyboarder, Mickey?
Yeah, photographer,
right?
But yeah, like Mickey found pretty much all the waves.
He found them all.
But then like Morgo was on that one of those first trips.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think they whipped Riley's for the first time. I remember Lowy telling me about that. And
Man, you'd have to be pretty fucking ambitious to go and whip that, to be one of the first ones to be throwing yourself up that ledge.
yeah, but yeah,
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's just kind of been a bit of an exchange with that zone from here.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
kind
funny.
of like,
it's just kind of like
bit of an exchange. Come and visit us in town, and then we'll come and visit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good having we had Connie here for how long was he here? A few weeks at least, eh?
Yeah, I think 6 weeks. Or
6
so.
weeks. Oh yeah, so we just do the 6-week exchange.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exchange students.
Yeah.
We'll teach you how to surf here, and you come and show us how not to freeze and throw yourself at cliffs, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so good. And so, like, I guess with surfing, like, are you practicing any form of like spirituality, or are you meditating, or are you like, how are you calming yourself in these situations? Because like, man, like when I'm going surfing, I'm just a shaky mess. It takes me so much just to even get my nervous system calm enough to be able to paddle out. Whereas I'm surfing, I'm talking about 6-8 foot, I'm doing that. You're like surfing stuff that's just like completely beyond anything I could even comprehend. How are you getting yourself calm enough to jump off the rocks and paddle out to potential death waves, the death-defying waves? Like,
I don't know. Probably just the more you do it, the more it is.
It's comfortability, you'd say.
Yeah. That's, I guess, working up to it. And
what about like breath work in that? Like, you're not meditating or like...
A bit. I mean, like for me, like diving is pretty good breath work, like spearfishing.
Yes, we're going to come to that. I'm very interested in that, actually.
That's
yeah.
I mean, and the mental side of things, like with a wipeout, I've always just been like, all right, switch off, like
just go kind of quiet and just sort of try and get yourself to peaceful.
Try and relax, like
I
don't know. If you end up in a bad situation, you're always just like, well, I've got myself in here, so like, just got to ride it out. Got to ride it. Not.
Yep. So essentially, you're not doing a whole lot of prep. You would more say that you're kind of relying on your instinct and exposure and experience, and you reckon that you're more like your form of meditation and being calm and sort of the spiritual side of it is when you're in the moment, when you're underwater, when you're bouncing off the rocks. That's when you come to like a calm place and get yourself centered or whatever.
Yeah, like I don't know how much meditating on land you'd have to do to feel good out there. Like it's pretty different.
Sit in a quiet room. Yeah.
It's a different ball game. But then other crew, kind of feel like.
So you're more like So you're essentially is in the moment rather than
kind of got to be in the moment
rather than preparation. Like, cool.
Mentally, I mean, I do like so much like, I guess mind surfing and looking at like footage of waves and thinking about different ways to surf them and what happens if this like sort of thing. Like
what was that?
I'm not just like jumping into it.
What was that thing you taught me? I remember one time I was a bit stressed out surfing a wave around here, and I was like, oh man, how do you like not panic when you're in that situation? I just get frantic, and you like when you go under and you go deep, go calm and start counting in your head. Because you're pretty rarely under for what, more than 10 seconds or whatever, right?
I mean, Dad told me that. I think
was that a
came up,
curfew?
I was like, I had a long hold down or something, like I was freaking on how long I was under. And he's like, next time you have like a wipeout, or like next few wipeouts, just start counting when you're underwater.
That's wise.
And it's like, you're just like, he's like, I guarantee it probably won't be over 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And you just get rolled and then you pop up. Like a long hold down's like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, and that's when you're getting pummeled. But I mean, it's a
but
completely
you're
different thing.
gassed. It'd be like sprinting 100 meters and then trying to hold
Holding your breath.
Like,
Yeah, fully.
So you're obviously feeling it. But
yeah. Do you reckon when you like, if you're paddling into a big wave, you like sucking in big breaths and like preparing yourself, knowing what's coming, or are you just in the zone, you don't even know what's going on, you're just doing it?
Yeah, trying to breathe pretty clearly, like especially when it's really solid. I remember the first few surfs, or the first year I was like surfing Jaws a bunch. You'd see some surfers and like a set would be coming and they'd just be start doing like pretty slow breaths and just like I guess get enough oxygen, like as much oxygen into them as they can
before you sit on the bottom. For 10
just
seconds.
like almost like you're doing like a free diving breathe up or something, and just kind of like getting ready for it. Because I mean, if you fall, you're probably not going to get the best breath.
No. I mean, that's the whole thing. You can be as prepped as you want to. You just go slap and blows all the wind out of you, and then you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, if something solid's coming in, you're thinking you're, I don't know, either going to wear it or you're going to you're going to have to you're going to turn around and go. You try and do a bit of like prep breathing in the, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds beforehand for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen on a couple of GoPro videos when crew, like, you can see them turn and and you can hear it in the background. You're like, oh man, this is all pretty dramatic. Holy shit. Are you training and stuff? Like just for the sake of like having like a solid enough body to be able to do that athletic level of surfing that you're doing?
For sure. Like doing a bunch of stuff.
Like, weights or mainly, like more stretching and stuff?
Nothing like crazy weights, but mainly just body, like, I don't know, using your own body weight and stuff. Like, pretty simple, trying to stay fit. Like, and if I'm surfing a whole lot, that kind of takes a back seat. Like,
you're not training so much because you're
a little bit
physical,
But I find like even, I don't know, you're coming back from an injury or something, or there's been no waves and you're training hard and you feel like as fit as you've ever been, and then you take 3 paddles on your surfboard and you're just like
that's maybe I've overdone that, I'm cramped.
Or just like you just feel weak if you haven't been surfing much, like once you're in the water surfing. Like, it's such a different ball game. Like, you can do so much prep on land, and then once you're actually in the ocean and using those different muscles paddling, it's pretty hard to
it's hard to train. It's hard to train your surfing paddling muscles out. I guess swimming, maybe. Do you swim much?
Kind of. If I'm not surfing, especially if I'm injured, but paddling's pretty similar. And like, once again, if I'm injured, I'll be doing breath training and stuff, like done runs in the pool, especially when I've been out. But between like, if I'm spearfishing and surfing a bunch, it's kind of, I don't know, the funnest way to keep training. Yeah, well, that's and breath training for sure.
That was something I wanted to talk about for sure. Is with diving, obviously, like breathing and getting your heart rate down and be able to hang underwater for how long you reckon you're hanging down there?
Oh, I mean, it varies, but like my longest has been like minute 40, minute 45, which is like, in the grand scheme of things, not crazy.
No, but you reckon that's helping a lot? Like doing that breath work and like training your lungs to be able to sit on the bottom or whatever. Like,
definitely notice a difference for sure.
So that's pretty.
And you can tell when you're not calm diving. Like, you can see results. Like, if you've had a bad dive by 30 seconds in, like if you're not calm and freaking out with fish, haven't got a good breath and taking your time, it'll be like 30 seconds in, you're like done.
So you reckon they go pretty hand in hand, eh? Like,
for sure. And the mental side of thing, like you're seeing fish or something,
trying to keep calm,
kind of like trying to like, I don't know. Just trying to like keep calm. As soon as you see a fish and get excited, and then you feel like you're running out of air, your heart rate goes up. So you just kind of got to like stay relaxed no matter what's happening.
Because I've wondered that. I mean, I feel like a lot of big wave surfers are pretty into their diving. I guess that's all the same thing, being like kind of a man of the ocean, you could say. But what's your biggest haul, you reckon? Diving.
Biggest haul? I don't know. Probably some kingies.
Massive kingy.
Like, probably kingfish. Yeah. Like,
how big?
I haven't cracked 20 kilos yet.
Yeah, okay.
But
like how tall? Like, is it as tall as me?
nah, it'd be like meter 30, meter 40 long.
Yeah, like kind of up to your chest if you were standing or something. It's a pretty sizey,
but
pretty sizey
yeah,
pelagic.
Get a bit of fish out of it.
Holy
like,
shit!
Feed you and all your mates for a good week or two.
I'm so encouraging of you and the boys fishing because I'm not huge on it myself, and boys get a haul and I'm eating like a king for fucking weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's so good. Last night even.
Yeah.
Last night we were just eating tuna that the boys caught. So good.
Yeah, one fish will get shared around quite a lot.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Exactly right. Yeah, so do you think like with surfing, and I mean I guess diving as well, do you think failure is a big part of developing as an athlete? I know we were talking about instinct before and you said that a lot of it's just exposing yourself to it and, you know, like doing it more. But do you think like failing is a huge part of obviously learning and growing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, if something doesn't go your way, you're like...
trying to work out why not.
Yeah, trying to work out why and then build, and then you got like a new set of skills up. Like, I don't know, if you try and nut it out and get to the bottom of it and figure out why that was happening or like what was going on, like either equipment or it was your like body positioning or whatever, or the way you were reading the lineup or say whatever.
Yeah. And like how...
if you're doing a contest or whatever, you like... I mean, you're never going to get it perfect, but like you'll learn from that and you'll be able to kind of level up for sure.
Because like, I guess for people that don't surf, surfing's such a hard thing. Is a wave comes through, you turn around, you fuck it, you're probably not going to get the same wave exactly again.
Yeah.
So like, is that pretty hard? Because like, I guess if you're surfing a wave pool, you're skating or even snowboarding to some degree, you can go back up and you can have another shot at that. Whereas surfing, it's like, you get that wave, you get the nice big double up one that's got a lot of water and it's got beautiful shape, and you fuck that thing, you're probably not going to get that opportunity again. Like,
yeah.
So I guess
for a while.
It's like pretty hand in hand instinct plus failure plus just being in tune with the ocean, right?
But yeah, when you, I don't know, I find like if I do something like that, like blow a really good wave, and I don't know, look back on it and figure out what I did. It's like
so
because you don't get many
footage.
Yeah, or like if you, I don't know, even if you know what you did, fall in, but normally footage will tell the real story. You
can just kind of scan back and see what happened. Oh, I did this, I wasn't there.
Yeah. But then like if you do that, it becomes like so imprinted of what you did wrong because you don't get many chances.
Just going over and over and
like you had that one chance and you just like gone over it for like a year and then you finally back of that wave and get another chance and it's like so there's a lot of weight on it. But then the next wave could be different.
Yeah.
The next chance you
then
like
you fuck that one and you're like, fucking what'd I do this time, damn it?
Yeah. It's kind of learning on the fly.
Yeah. Oh well, sweet. Yeah, because that's definitely a major thing with surfing. I mean, I guess wave pools has changed that now. Especially for aerials. It's like, oh, I did this, I should have been more over the front foot, or I should have been more centered on my board or lower, and it's like that's kind of changed that a little bit, hasn't it? Like,
it's made
more aerials and like kind of smaller wave performance surfing, but
it's made aerial surfing a different sport. Hey?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like now almost like snowboarding or skating where you got a ramp there and you can practice your rotations and stuff rather than going off what the ocean gives you.
I know.
Is so hard.
Which is I mean, you're fighting against Mother Nature, wind, tide, swell, positioning, where the waves are forming up on the reef or on the sandbar or whatever. It's like there's so many elements, hey?
Yeah. On like an amazing day for airs, you get like
3 good sections.
Like 3 to 6 good sections, and all of them are different. So it's just so hard to get your head around.
I know. It's especially big wave surfing too, because I guess you've got that pressure of like serious amount of strength and power and water coming down on top of you, and it's like, especially I'd imagine when it's real big, you're not really getting like in your field of vision, you're not getting to see all that's going on. So you got to go instinct plus a bit of like prior knowledge and learning that you've done, and just sort of set yourself and just be like, I hope this wave agrees, and I hope I've done what I need to do, and I hope that you and I can work in sync, Mother Nature, and sometimes it doesn't. Like you were saying, when you've got cracked in the chin and all that. Yeah, serious stuff for us. But so let's talk a little bit about the Eddy. Like, when was that? That would have been...
that was December, just before Christmas.
Just before Christmas. Yeah. So like Russ competed in the Eddy Mckeown Invitational Big Wave Surfing event. probably the most prestigious surfing event in the world, right? I mean, essentially, you've got to be invited. And was there many Aussies, or was it just you?
Jamie Mitchell, Ross Clark-Jones.
Yeah. So, like, essentially, most of it, because it's based in Hawaii, the contest, they only run the contest when the swell is big and powerful enough.
Yeah, it can go years without.
Yeah.
Being
so, I mean, it's a huge honor in itself just being invited to that. But like, what was your headspace going over and they did the opening ceremony and then seeing on the charts this swell coming? Like, where was your mind at? What was your mindset, headspace going into that event? Because that's obviously like one of the bigger achievements probably of your career, would you say?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about
that. Yeah, like just going over for the opening ceremony even was like insane. You're like, wow, he like almost felt like he'd done it. And just, I don't know, like you always would hope. That was my first year being invited even.
Yeah.
So you'd hope that you'd get like a chance at it running, but you're like, it's like 1 in 4 chances at best. Like on average it'd run every 3 to 4 years.
That's good. The first year you get invited and it's on.
And then, so those crew have been invited and like their career span, like maybe they've got injured or they haven't kept up with big wave surfing. They've been invited for years and then they haven't even got a chance to surf in it.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, and then, like saw the run as well, and it was kind of on the fence whether it was going to run or not. And it was actually, had the Vans Pipe Masters, surfed in that, and then went over to Jaws the next day, and it was like 5 days of Jaws.
Yeah.
We're over there and kind of got word that it was running on like the last day of the swell. So it didn't have like a whole lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the best prep in itself because you're out there at Jaws, which is like...
I mean, I know it's a hard one to say, but how big would you say? It was like mega, right? Jaws was huge.
Yeah, the day before the Eddy, which was funny, I was with Tori Meister over there.
Yep.
And we were both in the Eddy. And the crew, like, I don't know, there was a lot of crew who were there for the first few days. And they're in the Eddy and they kind of like went back. They're like, I got to go get prepared and sort all my stuff out. And we're like, this is kind of the best preparation. Like, as long as you don't get hurt out here, which we're trying pretty hard not to do. Like, we're playing it probably safer than you would.
Yeah.
Just to kind of,
not
stay in the game, not do anything stupid. But we're like, this is the best training you could get because, especially the day before it ran at Waimea, it was like, I don't know. I think Waimea that morning, the swell had already kind of passed through on his Jaws later.
Yeah.
So it was like solid first light, and then it was just crowded, and like crew wanted to be in the Eddy surfing out there, and then crew trying to warm up, and it was like sounded like chaos.
Yeah.
But we were at Jaws, and it was like hardly anyone out, and just massive, like
perfect training,
like so big and scary, like definitely way bigger than
the Eddy.
What the waves were at the Eddy.
Yeah. I
saw
Jaws
some
footage,
is like it's huge.
Yeah.
But
that's it. So like
kind of got that warm up, and then got in like late at night.
Yeah. It's kind of perfect, really, isn't it? Like getting like that, like the way it all unfolded. So pretty much, did you say, sorry, you surfed Jaws the day before?
Yeah. So we surfed Jaws for like a few days, and then that day we were like, I was like, oh, should we go back? Should we do this? Because everyone else was doing it, and then like, I'll just stay and like surf the morning if it looks good. And we ended up surfing and flying back, and we got back to the North Shore at like, I think 8 o'clock at night or something, 8 or 9. And like,
so gnarly.
My girlfriend Caitlin had flown over for it that day.
Yep.
And like Has Bryant and Coco had picked her up.
Yeah.
and then like they met us down because like the road is complete chaos when the Eddy's running.
Yeah.
It's like one road that goes around that side of the island, and it's just like forest inland, so you're not like there's no alternate routes.
Yeah, you just
like the road will close down. So we were there and we had to like drop all our stuff in the bay, like at the event site that night. So like dropped all our boards off and everything, left a car there with our stuff in it. And then, went back to our pad at Rockies, which is like a few Ks away. And then, slept for a few hours, got up at like 4 and just got on the push, like had a push bike at our rental and just rode down the street. And
down to Waimea?
Yeah. Just in
so how'd you get your sticks and stuff down there? You bought
we left it all.
So they were there?
Yeah, so like when I got back to the North Shore, like 8 or 9 at night, we were like setting all our stuff up. Like it was just chaos.
What,
like,
down the beach? Is there like a little athlete tent you can just get all your gear down there ready to go?
Yeah, it was like kind of fenced off near the lifeguard tower, and they got like a car park and the beach park and everything there.
Right. Oh, that's pretty good.
And yeah, just stashed it. Yeah, they had security there all night, so normally there's no way you'd be leaving your boards out there. Like, no, put them in a pretty safe spot.
Oh, yeah. It was like, had to be gnarly. Imagine waking up and like, shit, where's me stick?
Yeah.
The worst. Yeah, sweet, bro. Yeah, I mean, like, we're all here. I remember it going on. We're all here. I think the time difference was something random. I'm pretty sure we were maybe watching it at 5 a.m. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it would have been early here.
Yeah, sure. Early. I remember being up in the dark. We're all sitting there with a coffee. Like,
4 hours ahead here.
Yeah. Everyone was all fired up. I know that everyone, my dad and like family friends all around Kirkies drinking beers before the sun come up, cheering and carrying on. It was good.
Hilarious.
Oh, it's a pretty big moment for our town having someone in an event like that. I mean, Australia's a big place, and the fact there's only 3 people and one of them's you from our town, it's exciting times. Yeah. And that contest you did in Jaws that time, when was that? A couple of years ago?
Yeah,
it's all a bit exciting. A reason to drink some piss and Yahoo is perfect. Yeah. Just as if we need more encouragement, but yeah. No, that was amazing, mate. It was pretty
yeah, cheers.
Pretty special thing, eh? And hopefully you keep getting invited and we can keep drinking beers and Yahooing. Yeah. So this is an interesting question, but would you consider yourself a role model?
Oh, I get like I
it's
don't
a hard
know.
one to answer, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, try to be. It's
I
remember, I don't know. Yeah, like as a grom, looking up to the older gen of surfers who were doing what I wanted to do. It's definitely, trying to, I don't know, just trying to follow in their footsteps. And I know, like, it feels weird to say, but I know there'll be groms looking at like what I'm doing,
100%,
wanting to do that. So
nothing weird about it. It's pretty black and white, isn't it?
It's pretty strange, strange feeling like to think about. I haven't really, thought about it much, but like, always.
Of course. Well, I mean, like, especially being from somewhere like this, the young kids from this town are going like, hang on a second, one of the most, worldly renowned big wave surfers from our town. Everyone's looking to you for like, all right, well, what's he doing? How did he get there? What's he done? Like, for sure, you got eyes on you, which I guess probably comes with its own sense of pressure, right? Do you feel pressure of everyone watching you, or you just know everyone in the town and everyone knows who you are? It's all good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool town here. Like, it doesn't feel like
no one's putting heat on you.
It doesn't feel too crazy. Like, I mean, everyone knows everyone and got kind of like well enough to not be like feeling like I don't know.
Feeling like you're under the thumb of everyone.
Getting like peppered by everyone. It's more just like kind of a chat. Like, I don't know. We'll rock up at the Bommy and you're getting hit up and talked to as much as me. And it's like just
of
normal.
Course, yeah. But would you say like you're getting more like attention as a surfing celebrity when you're out of town? Probably, right? Because everyone's known you forever here. It's just like you're just Russ. You just
probably
another community member. Yeah. I mean, even down the snow now. So, well, even with snowboarding, like, do you, like, I've obviously been on snowboarding trips with you, going backcountry and just in general, like, do you think snowboarding is pretty in sync with your surfing? Do you feel like they go hand in hand or completely different?
I reckon it helps for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, good for, like, just learning how to operate at high speed, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no lack of speed, snowboarding, really.
Yeah.
And bump and whatever else. Like, I mean, you're strapped in, but you're on, like, a flimsy little snowboard, like, hammering fast, and then just getting used to, like, moving that fast.
Yeah, and being able to still have that control kind of. Yeah.
And that, I feel like that helps a lot. And dealing with bump, like, because, like, you can boot down a mogul field on a snowboard.
Yeah.
Like, and just like figuring out how to absorb all that.
For sure, hey.
And then you get to a big bumpy wave at Jaws or something. It feels kind of
Yeah.
relatable. Like,
I remember this.
Different, but yeah.
Fully, hey. But and like backcountry snowboarding, like I guess it's sort of, you know, when you're like in awe of nature. I'm sure when you're surfing just these monsters, you're just going, whoa, like just seeing the power of nature. Like, are you feeling something similar when you're sitting out backcountry, you're isolated, no one's around, and there's just these huge mountains? And
yeah, I mean, I haven't done like crazy backcountry stuff, but for sure, you definitely feel like you're just
feeling pretty small, huh?
Yeah, feeling small.
Yeah,
walking around kind of on your own.
For sure,
like the backcountry stuff, you're under your own steam.
Yeah,
you got.
Yeah. What do you reckon, like, your biggest fuck up's been? Like, whether that means like having a night out and having a shocker, or just in general with your career, or like when have you just gone like absolutely blown it?
You asked me this the other day saying I was going to be stumped. And
I did.
I was still am stumped.
You're stumped?
I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, you're always having blowouts. Like,
have you had a couple? Okay, so let's back to surfing then. Have you had a couple where you've done something and you've gone, oh, if I didn't do that, I would have made that. I've got one in mind if you need me to jog the memory.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we surfed Aileen's that day, and remember it was that really crazy wind, it was doing that helicopter thing, and it was just you and me. We had no ski. There was that one, I think Marley Dunn might have jumped out with us.
Yeah.
And it was big and it was mean. And you got that one on footage, and like you came over the foam ball, you navigated so much of the wave, and you got to the end and kind of fell forward.
Yeah.
And I remember that just did your head, and you watched it over and over.
What even happened? Like my board just skipped. Like,
yeah. And what did you what in your head do you reckon that was? Was that
probably just thinking I made it and I hadn't?
Just give it, yeah. Just
I got smoked. I thought I was on the compared to where I just was. It was like, oh, I'm on the shoulder. Like, this is fine, easy, and then just like,
Have you had
a few? Got too ahead of myself, but a bit of that, and obviously, We'll keep it semi PG, and we'll keep the biggest night fuck ups out of it. That's not necessary. Yeah, sweet. Well, what's coming up, Russ? You got any new surf films coming out? You got any big trips planned or any projects? What's coming? Yeah, probably try to travel around Oz a bunch this year and do a bit of Oz stuff. Yeah, kind of. I mean, coming into winter. Yep. Around here, like Oz, Tahiti, kind of. Maybe Indo and stuff. Like, you don't need to go very far. You don't. No. This time of year. And aiming to put out a clip towards the end of the year. Sweet. So another one with Andrew Kaneda. Yeah. So been a couple of years since our last one. So. What was the last one? Outer Edge of Leisure. So that was all the island footage and stuff. So. And that was like 2013. So 2 years now. Yeah. So that was kind of injured. 2023, you mean? Yeah, sorry, 2023. 2 years, I'm like... 2013, yeah. Jeez, I'm a bit backwards here. Yeah, 2023. 15, yeah. Yeah, and that was the one where you got like they played the live soundtrack, right? Yeah, as the film was... Yeah, it wasn't live, but like got a really good drummer, Mariah Moles, who like Andrew teed her up. Yeah. And yeah, she did the soundtrack all on like percussion. So yeah. Hectic. Pretty, fuck, it was dramatic. Yeah, when he was saying he wanted to do like an all drums thing, I was like, how are you gonna pull this off? Like, he's like, no, we will, and I'm like, fuck, like, all right, I'll trust you. You're not stepping like, in the way of fucking Kaneda's creative direction, are you? Yeah, which I mean, he's good. Yeah, he is. He really is. But I was like, what? How is this gonna work? But yeah, pulled it off. Yep. And again, this is a weird question to wrap up with, but like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Are you looking to do more traveling? You're looking to kind of settle? I mean, obviously at your place at the moment, you've been doing renovations and you're getting your house looking pretty tidy and the new deck, the new bathroom. Are you looking to do as much time at home and just do stripe missions, or are you looking to do a big stint somewhere? Or what's coming up over the next semi-imminent future, say between 2 and 5 years, would you say? Hard to say, but keep chipping away at the house, doing renos and stuff. Yeah. Still super keen to travel a bunch. I mean, the ideal goal is to be able to like get the house kitted out enough to just rent it whilst we're gone or whatever. Yeah. Like if you want to, like Airbnb, if you want to travel around through summer and whatever else, and try and get a bit back on that line. Yeah. But like, like if it's summertime in Oz and it's just, I mean, you know how it is. There's no waves and kind of cruising around. You could go to Europe or over Hawaii or something, and then that's kind of the goal for the next few years for me, I think. Sweet. Keep chipping away, keep surfing and traveling and bringing out projects. Are you looking to bring out, how often are you trying to bring out a project, or are you just sort of depending on waves, depending on clips, how much you content you gather? Don't want to like push them out with like more stuff and more footage than you can get, because I mean, like you could, but then it loses quality, of course. But each, like if I could, I mean, I always try and aim to do one a year, but then like last year broke my foot, was out for like 3.5 months and got back in the water, cracked my ribs. Yeah, busted your ribs. It was like just
you had a shit run there, didn't you? Shocking year. Wow. So it was like, fully. So now it's been 2 years and hopefully starting to stop. Feeling good? Body's feeling good? Yeah, feeling good. Yeah, so you're ready to fucking swing back in. Yeah, Russ, well, fucking oath, mate. Glad I finally got to have a chat with you, and cheers. I guess we should hopefully try and jump in the salt or something and wash it off. It's a bit muggy and rainy here today,
Yeah,
so it'd be good to
sticky in
good to go and baptise
interrogation
ourselves.
room.
Yeah, in the interrogation room. Yeah. But nah, thanks, bruv. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Love ya. Good stuff. And looking
Cheers,
forward
bro.
to seeing what's coming. I mean, fuck, what you've already done is pretty above and beyond. So I'm sure it's just still uphill from here.
Yep.
Hopefully
Cheers.
you don't bust your carcass anymore, and you can keep fucking powering forward, mate.
Yeah,
Good
cheers.
stuff. Good to watch, and stoked
Thanks,
to watch
good.
your career and watch it all unfold, mate. It's good
Cheers.
being a bystander.
Thanks.
All right, bruv. Love ya.
Love you too.